Okay, here we go. You can tell the garden looks much different than what it used to. We got some mini pumpkins growing. It's our biggest one right here. It's huge. As you can see, as we raised it on the rocks, it's prevented it from spoiling like our last one. So that elevation, in case the floor on which you're growing gets wet, and using leaves will keep things dry as well. As you can see in there, we got some tomatoes that are ready, some orange ones, and we have another pumpkin that is going to be on the harvest. So one of the main things that you got to make sure, because in this particular diagram right here, we really got a lot going on, but we also want to be able to show that you can still grow your pumpkin or your okra or your tomatoes in high yield if it's done a certain way. So these plants are only going to grow but so big only because they're all draining from the same water source. So essentially, if these plants were more spread out, then they would be a lot bigger in blossom and in bloom. So what we're gonna do here probably today is we have some beans over here that we need to cut, and some got over here corn. Got some corn that's just about ready to harvest. It's not really big enough, but I really want it to get some more water, and then I'm just gonna peel it all down. But as you can see, it's taking on almost like a slant, and that slantward motion is due to wind, high wind, water not being able to be watered within a certain period of time, and even overwatering. So this is another example on how to grow corn a certain particular way and how to get things going. So right over here we have some potatoes. They are still in the manifestation mode. There was a whole bunch of weeds. I believe I showed a video earlier that showed how much mess we had going on, and that was exciting. Now right over here we got some tomatoes ready to harvest. Everything's looking good. It's knocking over the trellis because the tomatoes are so heavy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna peel off a lot of these yellow tomatoes. Those are yummy. And right here we have a pepper tree growing. So a lot of these plants were a little bit too close, and we got some parsley right here. This parsley's growing kind of big. Looks good. Put that on a sandwich. Love parsley. And then right over here we got some tomatoes. So I'm about to pick a lot of this stuff. Got the basket right here, ready to get some stuff going. I'm just basically gonna change my shoes because right now, see, I got those on. Those aren't really ideal for gardening. So right over here is basically some more tomatoes. Now if you can see those flowers, they're growing a lot bigger than what they were before. They're doing really great compared to the cucumbers that we had in here. So we got some grass that we're gonna have to pull up. So with these cucumbers, they are going to be used for fertilizer. I wanted originally to just take the seeds out and then put them in a container and then save them for later. And then let's see what we got over here. We got some eggplant, but might have took too long to actually pull it off. But yeah, as you can see, the tomatoes, everything's ready. Everything's ready to harvest. So I'm about to pick all these real quick. We got some sage right here, fresh basil, red basil, and then we got some green basil right here. Okay, one more tour. We got some flowers right here that's supposed to be growing. They're not growing yet. So Now, what we have right here is a watermelon in the making. This isn't quite manifested, but this is on the way. It's looking good. Just need some more water. And considering moving more into the cold season, we're not gonna utilize the water that's coming from the hose. We're gonna start catching a lot of our water and just watering a lot of the plants by hand, because it's raining a lot more than what it used to. And then over here where we had the sunflowers, we have some squash, acorn squash coming up, some okra as you can see, and some parsley. So a lot of these sunflower seeds we're using as compost. And then these beans right here, we're gonna end up picking these and just using the seeds. So we want to get it as big as we can get it. So here we go, just keeping up with your stuff. It's crucial. So here we go. The next video I will show you a tour of us pruning stuff, and then we had a mound that was here. We got all that cleared out. So just kind of checking on everything, making sure everything's growing like it's supposed to.